What's up guys, Momo-Dog here with a brand new video, and this one's about, as you can see, it's a hand cam. It's about my pet, the pet that I'm using. And I will send, this video is motivated by an email that was, again, sent to me on the email that is linked to my YouTube channel. And I wanted to talk about the pet I use and answer this question at the same time. So let me read this out for you. I will put a screenshot of the mail on your screen so you can read it for yourself now. But I want to go through it real quick. So, hi, I'm a new Tekken 8 player, and I'm currently improving very quickly. I'm a Tekken Emperor with 3 characters, Zafina, Victor, and Eddie, but I originally bought Tekken 8 to play only as Deviljin. I play with a PS5 controller and I've researched a lot to optimize my wave dash and EWGF. However, I've often been advised to play on an arcade stick. I've heard that a very good Deviljin player currently uses a special controller, the Razer Raion, which brought me to you. So would you recommend that I buy this controller? What reasons do you have for this controller instead of others like the Hori Octa or just a stick? Thanks for taking the time to read this, and I'm sorry for my English. So before we get into this, there's something I need to change on my settings real quick, and after that I'll get right into answering this question. Yep, now it works. So, first off, why do I use this controller? And to answer this question, we kind of have to go back, damn, this camera is so weird to use. We have to go back 5 years in time, when I first started off with Tekken. I used to use an Xbox One controller, and I still have one right here. It was a pad similar to this, just in black. This is the one I use for single-player games these days, but I would not recommend using an Xbox One pad for Tekken, at all. Unless it's an Xbox 360 pad, which was kind of less annoying to use. I would not recommend using an Xbox controller. I'm not sure about the Xbox Elite stuff, whatever. But the Razer Raion, the reason I used it, it's a pretty dumb reason. It's not because I thought the pad was good or anything. 15-year-old Momo didn't have much money to spend on a controller, but I really wanted to get off the Xbox One controller because I used, my thumb would get hurt using that small-ass D-pad. And I kind of felt like the Xbox One pad D-pads would break really, really quickly. So I wanted something solid and a D-pad that was bigger than the Xbox One pad. And that brought me to the Razer Raion. And the best reason to buy this pad from me back then was that it was since nobody wanted this piece of shit, I could just get it for 20 euros, brand new in my local electronics market. I don't think this pad is bad at all, don't get me wrong, but the main reason I use this pad is for comfort reasons. My thumb does not get hurt using this pad at all. Even after 4 hours of playing, I can still comfortably use this. But I wouldn't say that this pad will boost your execution or whatever, which a lot of Mishima players are kind of looking for when they choose a controller, I believe. So if your controller usage is about boosting your execution or getting easier execution, you're probably better off just getting a level-less arcade stick or a Mixbox or playing on keyboard, whatever, because those are the easy ways out. However, if you want to use a pad, and I personally did not like the PS5 pad at all. I hated the Xbox One pads. I can personally vouch for the PS4 pads, but they break really easily. These Razer Raions I can use for at least a year before they break. This one I got for free from my brother in exchange for a PS4 pad I still had lying around. But these Razer Raions go for 110 euros these days. And I can tell you, personally, that's not worth the price. These pads are not worth the price. Especially since there's people working on their Razer Raions weirdly building in a pivot or whatever, so the D-pad doesn't register up and down at the same time, for example. As you can see here, I can press up and down at the same time. There are Razer Raions that don't have that, those are newer versions, but finding them is really, really hard. So you have to be really lucky when you order one to get one with a built-in pivot. Otherwise, you'll have to build it in yourself. I never built in one myself. I played without a pivot because I feel like if you wear the D-pad out for 1 or 2 weeks, it's no issue. You won't get up and down inputs at the same time anymore. I have a clip of what it looks like when I used the pad or what I wave dash when I was at Knee's place. Knee showed off my pad, so you can't this camera is kind of small and it's very scuffed, it's on my microphone, so it's hard to see. But the visuals were pretty good when I was at Knee's place, so I'm just gonna borrow his clip for this slight review, I guess.
웨이브 보여줄까요? 저렇게 웨이브해. 이렇게 저렇게 하면 웨이브가 나가. Can you show us your thumb?
Thumb? Like
이거 봐.
this?
봐, 굳은 살 보이죠, 여러분? 이거 봐, 이거 봐. 굳은 살.
And I will go into a quick match to show what it looks like when I play. Like, usually my pad is below the desk, hence why it's always hard for me to use a hand cam on stream. I know a lot of people ask for that, but I'll try my best to not fuck up my execution when I'm playing like this. Maybe I can also just put the camera further to the back. Let's see. This is super weird, but I guess this works. And as you can see, I use the middle of my thumb to play, and I have a huge bulge on my thumb as a result. Hope my microphone isn't too quiet now since I'm more far away, like further away from the microphone. But yeah, let's see. I think playing one match is enough to showcase what it looks like when I use this pad. Nice. Oh damn, unlucky. Thought he would press the charge punch from his absorption attack. Nice, that's guaranteed on counter. You can sidestep that.
Round 2. Fight.
Wow, that covers a lot of distance. And that was... Oops. Yes. So as you can see, when I wave dash, it kind of looks a bit very scuffed. This is not what it looks like usually. Like when I went to offline tournaments, I would never see someone wave dash like this. But I think it's just so much more comfortable than using the tip of my thumb. But it's a personal preference thing. And that's controllers in general for Tekken. Everything is personal preference. Use whatever is most fun to you. My biggest regret is not learning arcade stick, because these days I'm just way too lazy to do it. But once again, I did not have the money back then to buy an arcade stick. I was 15 years old. I started off with in like Tekken 7 Season 2. It was kind of tough for me to start off with an arcade stick. I did have a Kwama drone at some point, but I don't know.
Fight.
At some point I realized I'm just way too used to pad now, and if you put your mind to it, you can become good with Mishimas on any controller, really. If I had to be honest though, your best bet is on keyboard or on an Xbox. Those things are like a cheat code for Mishimas, because the execution is just super consistent on those things. There we go. Oh, I pressed 1+2 because I saw 2 arms. Am I dead? Shit.
Final round. Fight.
That is so unlucky. Got the electric. Got the perfect ball splat. Let's go for damage. Damn, he actually ducks that. If he didn't duck that, he was so dead. Nobody expects that since it's cancelable now. Anyway, I didn't use much execution in this match, as you can see, but I will go into practice mode now, like back to practice mode, to kind of show you what it looks like when I go for the hard execution stuff. And I know the angle is very scuffed on this pad, but I don't think you need to see much except the way I use my thumb to control my execution, and basically the way I use my pad. I also don't use claw grip, as you can see. Like, there's also people out there who use a claw grip to make, like, to not have to use binds. I use every single bind that is available to me. So like, I have 2 binds here. Can you see it? This is R1 and R2, so I have 6 buttons here in total. I have R1, L1, R2, and L2, and like R3 and L3. So like 6 binds in total available to me. So how do we do this? I'll just have to have the Jin follow me. And maybe just show off the instant while standing freeze. They're already at the ball, so I'll just go for this. Oops, fucked up. Anyway. The YouTube curse is crazy, bro. Oops, anyway. And then let's also show off the infamous Westering to Westering free combo, which kind of looks like this. It's like, I prefer calm execution over fast execution. I do not really have fast execution. I also don't have like super strong execution either. But if I put my mind to it, I can guarantee you I could even do this on. Like, you can get strong execution on any pad. That's what I'm trying to say. Just have to put a lot of time and effort into it. So yeah, that's the Razer Raion. That's the pad I used, and I thought I should make a video on it since I even got mails on my like YouTube linked mail. A lot of people keep asking me on my stream. There's a lot of people coming in just to check what pad I use. Once again, I do not recommend buying this pad for like 110 euros, dollars, whatever. Don't buy it brand new. Like there's usually electronic stores that sell it for much cheaper since no one wants this pad at this point. But generally, I would recommend looking into other pads. PS4 pad, I can give a huge vouch for. Like if I had the money back then to get PS4 pads on the regular, I would have gone for those. But sadly, PS4 pads are kind of expensive, and these Raions I got for much cheaper, and usually they last me for around a year, so it was an easy choice for me. I would love to switch to arcade stick or whatever at some point, but I just don't have the time to commit, and I don't really feel like learning a new controller at this point. I have a shout out to QRD Game, which sent me this wireless fighting game pad. I'm not sure if you can see. Maybe if I put my pad away. So like I will give a review on this. This is like a wireless hitbox or whatever. I'll work on that review as soon as possible, which I'm very interested in doing because I've never really tried a hitbox. Like this is the most similar thing to a hitbox you can get. And I'll also have a friend of mine help me, like my partner in crime, help me with like reviewing a lot of different sticks at the same time. So look forward to that. I will try to make a very cool review video for Mishimas, and hopefully we'll find out what the most optimal thing to use is for you guys. Once again, your controller is not the issue, unless your controller is like flawed, broken, whatever. Other than that, you can, if you put your mind to it, you can use any controller to get strong execution with Mishimas. It's all about practice. Anytime people come into my chat, yo Momo, how do you do Westering free combos? How do you do electrics? How do you do, whatever? It's all about practice. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. And that goes for any controller in Tekken. I just, once again, do not recommend Xbox One controllers because they're super small and they will hurt you, like, unless you use the tip of your thumb, which should be fine, but I use the middle of my thumb, and those things were just super unhealthy for me. So, huge vouch for the Razer Raion when it comes to comfort, honestly, and it also sounds really cool, like, it's super clicky. I'm not sure if you can hear. Maybe you can hear, I'm not sure. Super satisfying to use. But other than that, go for cheaper versions of pad, like go for cheaper pads. The PS4 pad is perfectly fine. PS5 pad, I hear it breaks really easily, like even more so than PS4 pads. Yeah. Momo out. I hope you enjoyed this review.